Hey y'all, I just wanted to show a video on a declarative way to provision a satellite location and all downstream clusters within that satellite location in AWS. The framework, the open source framework that we're going to use, actually automates not only the location and cluster provisioning, but also all the infrastructure provisioning and scale up and scale down as well in a declarative fashion through Git. So what we're going to see is I have defined the desired state of the zones that I want for my control plane. So I'm going to get two nodes in each zone here for the satellite location itself. And you'll see I also defined a downstream cluster where we will initially start off with two nodes in each of these unique worker pools, one being a GPU and one regular. And what we'll do is we will run this reconciler code, and all of the location provisioning and infrastructure provisioning is going to kick off. And we'll watch that as well in our EC2 console here as that kicks off. So awesome. So we'll see the location actually get kicked off. And now we're going to see the instances get launched to join this location. And we're going to see two instances here will get launched shortly. Let's get that time filtering up. And we will basically see nice. So we'll actually see the instances all launching here. So we're going to have the 6 instances. And those will be for each of the zones in our control plane. And now when we go back and look at the location itself, we will begin to see these nodes join the location. So what we're going to do is do sat host -- location here. And we'll just give those a sec to boot. Give that a second here. Awesome. And we'll actually see the nodes have all registered and joined and are now all starting to join the satellite location and enter into the specific zones to run the control planes of the downstream rocks cluster. So we'll give that some time to fully join, and then we will circle back and watch as it automates the downstream cluster provision as well, and then the infrastructure associated with that downstream cluster. So now we should be able to look and see that the location itself is healthy. And now we're going to see that the downstream cluster will get deployed within the location. So we'll wait for that for a second here. Awesome. So now we'll see the downstream cluster get deployed. And then what we'll also see in this window is the associated machines will be booted up here shortly. Awesome. And you're already seeing the one pending and then the other one getting initialized as well. And exactly right. So these are the two additional machines that have been booted. And we're going to see two more as well. Awesome. Just give that a sec here. And awesome. So now we'll see the 4 total nodes for our downstream cluster have been provisioned. And then we will just watch here as the cluster gets fired off. And you'll see that the nodes are now beginning to automatically join the downstream cluster as well. And that should get kicked off here shortly. Yep, and now you'll see all 4 nodes are associated with the cluster. So what we'll do is we'll allow this cluster to get deployed out, and then we'll also show the day 2 scaling operations by actually removing 2 nodes from the cluster and reducing the capacity of that pool after this cluster gets fully deployed. So we'll be back and check on that soon. Awesome. At this point, we will see that the nodes are, some have joined the cluster, and then we have a couple more that are in the process of actually joining the cluster. And we'll let that complete here. And then we'll show the scale down process. So you can see sort of these nodes popping on in here. Awesome. And then we'll have just that final one to get through. We'll just give that final one time to join the cluster. Awesome, that looks great, and it looks like we are all ready here. We'll just give that node a second to actually pull down that pod data. Show wide pipe grep. Yep, just give that some time to fully initialize there. Awesome, we're all good there. So now that we have this cluster fully set up with all the nodes joined, we will proceed to actually remove scale down to complete this demo. So we're now going to scale down 2 nodes in the cluster. So 1 for each pool, and what we can watch is the reconciler will pick that change up, and we'll actually start to see the nodes get automatically corded and drained, and then actually removed from the cluster. So we're going to see that now. That node's going to get corded and drained and then go through the deletion process. And then once actually deleted from the satellite perspective, it will actually go into GCE as well and remove the corresponding node, or sorry, AWS as well, and remove the corresponding node there. So we can wait for that to occur on one of these nodes. So we'll wait till, 31. And we'll see the other node is starting to get kicked off on that drain and removal process as well. We'll just give that some time here to fully kick in. And if we look closely as well, we'll see some of the workload getting terminated and running on, terminating and created on the other nodes as part of that graceful draining process. Yep, and we'll see the nodes in the process of getting deleted now, and then once that gets deleted, we're going to see the node data actually disappear from the cluster. Awesome. So we'll see that node got removed from the cluster. And then what we'll also see here shortly is that node's going to get terminated from the AWS console now as well. So we'll wait for that to occur. We'll ultimately see that it will be our IP, this node right here. And we will ultimately see that instance get stopped. Page here. Awesome. And now we're seeing that instance get shut down, and it's going to ultimately get terminated. So, and with that, that sort of completes our video. So, and you'll also see the other node as well. So what we did today was actually show how you can declaratively define an entire satellite location and all the downstream rocks clusters within it, and automate the entire infrastructure provisioning process associated with that, and continue to automate that provisioning process during day 2 operations through this GitOps based workflow based on this open source reconciler, infrastructure reconciler solution for AWS. So thank you so much for your time, and looking forward to speaking with you again soon.